Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's Friday, which means we have yet another obscurity in literature. And today's choice is, well, quite the odd piece of work. And I mean that in the best ways possible. So I'm not usually one to go and review RPG books too much, but somebody suggested this to me, and I had to go check it out. Number one, based on the concept, but also because of the artwork, and that is Silent Titans by Patrick Stewart and Dirk Leichty, if I am reading that correctly, which probably I'm not. But anyways, we'll get to both of those folks in a sec. But immediately upon seeing this, I just was greeted by the absolute chaos of what's going on all over the cover. So this comes to us from Swordfish Islands, which is a publisher, and I gotta say, they really spared no expense. It was a pricey book. It was originally kickstarted, but it's nicely put together here, I gotta say. Good, solid hardcover construction, ribbon, even the dust jacket, which actually folds out, and there is a purpose to this. This is actually used for almost like a mini game within the context of the story. It is a maze-like place that the players can end up in. And that's one of the cool things about this book, is basically everything here is self-contained. You have something of a map of the various Silent Titans themselves. Yes, it may not be as evocative as, like a really well-done piece of fantasy art. We can't all have like Hildebrand, Elmore, or Parkinson work to really get that evocative feel. But to me, this feels almost as lived in and as crazy, and I absolutely am here for it. So you have a very, very messed up world, basically due to these titans, and you can see them kind of floating around over here. These are actually the remains of said titans, and they're all asleep and basically causing reality to fracture, mess up, slip through time, and cause all sorts of issues. So yeah, fun stuff. And you have the typical character creations at the beginning and how that all goes about. And I don't know, the colors just remind me of, like, I don't know, old Dr. Seuss books or something. We have this nice big double page table of various characters that you may end up playing as. Very simplified stats, explanations. The game is much more about problem solving and the experience rather than, racking up fat loot, although there is plenty of that. And the characters themselves are quite bizarre. You have the Titan's Curse in effect, which turns everybody into the Woodwose, which are humans that have become part plant and regressed to the most primal natures of their minds, if they have any left. And then you've got the Mask Men, which are regular animals that have found various masks that somehow bestow hands and sentience and the ability of language on them. Fun stuff. So the way the book is set up, you have like these basic encounters, a lot of information just to give the kind of game master ideas of what's going on here. Everything in these everything in these illustrations absolutely does play into effect. There are giant gorillas with bowler hats and Thompson submachine guns hanging out with giant pigs. And you usually have these double-page spreads with the various assorted encounters that you might end up meeting in certain spots. Dr. Duroc Hogg. And eventually we end up in the main town, Legion's Fort. We get into some of the explanations of what's going on there. what it's like. You have the Sea of Eons, where you've got stuff drifting up through time and ships and craziness going on. You can see here some of the various animal people, masked men. I don't know. The illustrations, like I said, I don't know, part of it gives me childhood memories of reading old Dr. Seuss books, staring at things like If I Ran the Zoo or If I Ran the Circus, with all just the, I don't know, I don't want to say chaos, controlled chaos, of just all the little things, the details. The Sleep book, that's the one I keep thinking of, with its bizarre Seussian Escher-esque locations that kind of went everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Then we have the various courts that are in session throughout the land of Wir Heal, the court of the Wapentake and the court of the Wassail, and the various characters that exist. You've got everything to go through the trial that the characters are going to have to be submitted to. There's just weird stuff going on. The Ozel, it's all-knowingness. We've got the prismatic demon. And then we get into the details about the actual Titans, which, if you're into the whole spelunking and dungeon diving, well, every Titan's got their own thing going on, and the idea and the hope is that the player characters are going to steal these mind gem lattice work interface things that are screwing up reality, and by doing so is going to help things out. I don't know, I really enjoyed just flipping through this book. You know, every page is something new, every page is something different. Each of the big Titans that you can end up encountering and seeing, all the various creatures and avatars that work for them. So like I said, it's just got elements of weird sci-fi, elements of fantasy. It got a lot of everything going on, and the illustrations are just bonkers crazy. But there's a purpose to them all. I love the little maps. It would have been nice to see some of these interior maps blown up a little bit larger. That's about my only real nitpicky area. I'm knocking something over there with the book, but that's okay. I don't know. I would love to get this on the table and actually try playing through it. But even if I don't, I at least have this to appreciate and experience here. I'm always a fan of nice-looking books with interesting takes, and at nearly 100 pages of just craziness, along with an interview with the creators in the back. Fun stuff. Definitely fun stuff. And speaking of fun stuff, so the artist that Dirk Leichty, or I can't. Some of the font is kind of hard for me to read, unfortunately. Actually has, at the moment that this was filmed, a Kickstarter wrapping up for another of these type of books, totally unrelated. If you're curious, I'll have a link to that down below, and definitely something worth checking out. We'll also have Swordfish Islands link if you guys want to check that stuff out. I don't think you're going to find any of this on Amazon. If you do, it's going to be secondhand sellers and stuff. So, you know, why not go and support the actual people that publish this stuff? That's my take. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.